Okay. It's like Santos.
Hmm?
Like Santo, the jaguar I got the whole.
What the fuck is flying?
It was a beetle.
Yeah, so all white tigers are actually cross-eyed. Some more than others, but so there's a white tiger lives in this front one. She's probably in her night house asleep. There's a white tiger in this one also in her night house, and then there's a big orange cat that lives in there with her that is a tiger. So if he comes out and walks around later, he looks like a big tiger. 3 parts tiger, 1 part lion. That is Lakota. Not leave you alone, sorry.
The white tiger. Why does this tiger look so different? His face looks different.
Because of their inbreeding. When they inbreed, all white tigers are actually inbred. So as much as they kept breeding and trying to make a white tiger, that's what they ended up.
The Sierra Safari Zoo.
What are you talking about?
There's a place in Reno called Sierra Safari Zoo. Me and my friends got them shut down because they were like very unethical with their treatment. And they had like things like white tigers that I'm assuming they bought illegally.
Oh, for sure. Just bred them.
Yeah, it's like sketchy. I mean, my friends got them stuck out of a lot of stuff.
Well, that's a great thing that you did then. We rescued 10 animals from Tiger King Farm. One of the tigers gave us the 3 cubs. And it's kind of a bad story. Those kids were born 12 days later. But there was something wrong with them. They had clubs.
All rescued.
Let's get you with this pan.
Look at this guy. Shoot. If I see that in the wild, I'll be like, oh, shit in my pants.
If we saw you in the wild, we'd be like,
Mm-hmm. Lunch. Oh my goodness. Hi. Oh, oh. Hi. Hello. Hey, cutie. She's like, don't talk to me. I'm hungry.
Of course, I get my camera on. He walks away.
Hi. Yeah, look, it's peeing. Where is he pacing?
He's stalking us.
So that black jaguar did come from Tiger King Park. That's Madeira.
Ah,
Where?
Tiger
And the
King.
one behind
The one they did that documentary on.
Oh.
right back there, I
Oh shoot. Oh, no, at least now they're happy here. Somewhat happy.
I need you to get in there and wrestle that.
Oh, there's a lion right there.
Where? Oh yeah.
Throw hands with it. Is there a Labrador waffle around here? There's lions over here, Shannon.
It's a leopard, silly.
No, not yet. Oh yeah, look at him.
There's 2 of them there.
Yo, there's a lion.
Look at that.
Fat cat.
Yep.
He is fat. God damn, boy. Look at that belly. That's why he's fat.
He has arthritis.
And yes, yeah, he's declawed.
You know, the cheetah is the only cat species that's non-retractable claws.
Oh look, they're asleep. There's 2 of them. Rawr. Can't see. They're so lazy. They're lazy. They have bunk beds. They got bunk beds, look. Oh, you can't go down there. That's cute. Why is he pacing?
That's what they do.
He's in guard. He's guarding. Meow.
He's like knocking.
Meow.
He's like, ooh, that sounds like food.
Hi. You're
See him when
big.
he was making the noises earlier?
Yeah. I said hi to him and he went hi. Hi. That's crazy. Ah shit my pants, if I see this in the wild, do they?
Just walking back and forth.
Yep. I'm hungry.
So that's what we do in the prison yard is, you know, walk back and forth.
Working out.
Theo, you like?
That's a big cat.
It's like gray size.
This is as big as Gray. It's like, okay. You need to air out.
Oh, these are the ones she was saying came from Canada.
Oh, look at this butterflies.
Oh, he's like, oh, I hear you.
Hi.
Hey, look, we got visitors, folks.
Hey guys.
You just making this noise.
You guys are just making too much noise. Oh, okay. Those are cubs. They don't look like cubs no more. Yeah, you do that so we see what happens. Yeah, they don't look like cubs now. We are so happy that we were rescued by Turpentine Creek. The other one. Look, the other one. It's opening its eyes. Oh, life is nice.
I want to pet the cubs. I want to go to one of these little sanctuaries. Is this a sick location though? Like hills and stuff?
Yup.
We still want it, so.
Yes, we are. We're by Eureka.
We got about 10 minutes to go to the team.
Yeah, it's just right back there.
So we head back there, we're starting on a broken ass leg. Should take a minute to walk there.
And then, yeah, we can just do this later on.
You hear that?
Stupid ass.
There's Bagheera.
Shakira, Shakira.
We do have a pain management program here, and animal care staff will hand out those meds morning and night, so we do it 3 times a day. So this is a closely monitored program by a veterinarian.
Anything in there? Look, it's got crackers in there, Cheez-Its. Somebody's just been eating Cheez-Its in there.
This was someone's pet and escaped their house.
The what?
Serval.
Escaped pet captured. Oh.
Where is it?
What's a serval is a cat?
Oh, I see it. This little ear right there.
Of our animals. We're also completely hands-off here, so we'll never be in the habitats interacting directly with them. If we need to go into their grassy areas to pick up after them, set up new toys, cut down their grass, or anything like that, they'll be locked into their night houses, which are those extra fenced-off areas with their concrete dens. If we need to go into the night houses to clean up, they'll be locked into the grassy area, so we'll never have access to the same area as these animals since they are very dangerous. Only exception to our hands-off rule is if they're fully sedated and in need of medical care, in which case our vet will be a part of that. I'll also warn you that there are going to be some sad stories that I share with you today. I don't mean to make you feel badly at all, just want to be the voice for them, get their stories out there. They come from situations of abuse, neglect, and abandonment from people's homes, fake zoos, and fake sanctuaries. So not so great backstories, but they do have a happy ending, getting that lifelong care that they need in what we call their forever home. With that, we just ask guests not to yell at the animals or make noises at them. They get to look at you or your camera. They're all just here to do their own thing, live out their lives in peace, so we do appreciate your help with that. Now, as far as the animals in this immediate area here, I'll talk about Bam Bam first. He's our grizzly bear, lives in the habitat diagonal to us. Sometimes these cats decide they don't like each other anymore, so we have to separate them to keep them safe. And she's really enjoying having this habitat all to herself. She's got her front half here, and the back half, and around the corner behind the building is where her pool is that we built for her in the summertime. Joey is that typical coloration of a tiger that you think of, dark orange with black stripes. That's the only coloration of a tiger that you'll find naturally today. And it does serve a purpose. It helps them to camouflage. They're prey is what we would see as them being red-green colorblind. So big Homa. Now being a lion, she likes to carol. Caroling is a way that lions communicate with each other. It's a roar that they do over and over again. It sounds a bit funky, but it can be heard up to about 5 miles away when they put their whole bodies into it, so it does get pretty loud. Sometimes it's just one that's caroling, other times they all like to join in with each other, in which case you get what we call a symphony of caroling throughout the sanctuary. So you can hear them from all the different areas we have here throughout the evening. Right, so really cool to hear regardless, but they just sound pretty funky when they're doing it. Now, if we look ahead though, you'll notice her night house is up this way. She has 2 of them to her one grassy area. A lot of our habitat servals are yours would be the size of dinner plates, so they can triangulate their prey very well. They also have really long legs, can jump pretty high into the air to catch a bird mid-flight. So you'll notice that they've got a roof to their habitat there. Any of the animals that can climb, jump, or leap out of their habitat, they're going to have room for our safety as well as theirs. Not only are they great hunters though and really aggressive cats, they're also super stinky. And she doesn't care what the weather's like regardless, but the other 3 are a bit pickier and hang out in their building a lot more. Now we got Kisman's habitat next. Kisman is a white tiger from Colorado. She came here with her sister Tanya that I mentioned very briefly earlier. They just don't get along anymore, so they are in separate habitats. Looks like she might be up in her night house right now, but we'll take a look at her habitat here. You can see she has a lot of different toys kind of strewn about her habitat. Balls, barrels, tubes, tops. You might notice cardboard tubes and cardboard boxes as well. This is all enrichment for the animals. We like to do what we can to keep them from being bored here and there. I also don't think we're seeing this one today, but she looks more like a perfectly toasted marshmallow. She has more golden color to her orange, has brown stripes instead of black, and has a lot more white on her body. She's what's called a golden tabby tiger or strawberry tabby tiger. You're never going to find a golden tabby naturally. They get their coloration from a genetic mutation that's brought out through inbreeding. It's just a way that people have tried to profit off of these animals. There's only about 35 or so known golden tabby tigers. We do have a few of them here, so even though we can't see Khaleesi right now, hopefully we'll see Tigger later on, and hopefully see that coloration there. Now, I went at 8, and Savannah was one of them. Now, for the animals that arrive here, it can take them some time to adjust to their new homes. For a lot of them, it's their first time seeing and touching grass. So you can imagine new things do take some time getting used to. It can take them anywhere from a couple of days to adjust all the way up to a couple of years. Just depends on that animal. For Savannah, it took her a couple of weeks to adjust. It's a little bit quicker than some animals, a little bit longer than others as well, but she loves her habitat here. You can see she has almost all of her toys down at the bottom of her fence line up against that, that fence right there. Great indication she's been pushing them down the hill, chasing after them, playing around with those toys. More than her toys though, she loves sticks, so we put a lot of sticks in her habitat too. You can kind of see them throughout her habitat. She'll pick her favorite out of the bunch, run around with it in her mouth and chew on it a little bit like a dog, even though she's definitely not a pet. But it is a pretty great toy to have. It's her favorite if you ask me, because we're not really running out of sticks anytime soon. Out here we've got 450 acres of her favorite toy just waiting for her. She's locked into her night house right now. She just had surgery a few days ago, so she needs to be locked into that area so we can keep a better eye on her and make sure she takes her antibiotics and everything. She just has been through so much in her lifetime, she doesn't like being locked into small areas. So we're hoping she heals up quickly so we can give her access back out. But we're just kind of scoot forward through her habitat here instead of stopping to talk about her. So I'll just try and keep her story a little bit shorter. She came, some people have a hard time spotting her at first. This is Ugawa. Ugawa is a female lion, and she's one of my favorite female lions here. I do have multiple favorites of every category because it's really hard to pick, but she's been very consistent on that list since I started working here. One of the reasons I love her is because she likes to take a nap on her back with her legs sticking up in the air and her tongue sticking out. It's really funny when she's doing that. She's also super sassy. She's got a lot of attitude. She came here from that same Indiana facility I mentioned before, but she was rescued from the same enclosure as a male white tiger named Glacier. Now those two were being used to try to breed for big cat hybrids, a tiger and a lion. They would have been making what are called tigons. Big cat hybrids do not happen naturally out in the wild. They're a man-made creation for entertainment and money. Tigers and lions are very different cats. They also live in entirely different parts of the world. They would never meet each other to make hybrids. Tigers are from Asia, but that's where Mama got her surgery taken care of down today's down that way. This hill right here, not a whole lot to see when you look, but it leads to our commissary, which is where we prep all of the food for our animals. We like to give a shout out to Tyson. They donate about 300,000 pounds of meat to us each year, which is taken in natural shape. He's one of those golden tabby tigers like Khaleesi. You can kind of see why I describe them as perfectly twisted marshmallows. He came here from Oklahoma. A man had Tigger and 5 other big cats in his possession. We called them the Oklahoma Six. Now, when we went in to rescue these animals, the man, I'll be honest, a lot of our tigers are not that great at it. But it's fun to hear, regardless. Definitely, I think we're not walking the distance when we're doing it, because they all do it so differently. But you gotta look at him down that way. And then we got Chup and Athena's habitat across from him. Chup and Athena are 2 orange Tiger, Tigon, and Lytigon. If you just remember, Dad gives them the first part of their name, Mom gives them the second. It gets a bit easier to keep it straight. So Karma, if she's a liger and Dad gives her the first part of her name, that means her dad was a lion and her mom was a tiger. And Tigon was the opposite. The naming is true. Naming rule is true for the second generation hybrids as well. You just gotta remember, you're never gonna have a dad hybrid. Don't hybrid. So that's Chef's version of a carol. He sounds more like a really sad engine trying to rev compared to Tigger's owl that he says. He's got a habit of coming down like right after we move forward. It's pretty typical of him. One of the easiest ways to tell him apart from his sister though is that he has much thicker, darker stripes than his sister does. You can just see how thick and dark they are here as you walk past. But I'm not taking down for you. They decided they wanted to try and sell him for $10,000. So they posted a picture of him on social media to try and do that on Instagram. Not their brightest sight tigers here. Now he came here from Colorado, and being a white tiger, he is not something that you'll find out in the wild. You used to find white tigers in the wild. It was a very rare occurrence. You just don't anymore because they get their coloration from a recessive gene or a rare trait that only has about a 1 in 10,000 chance of presenting itself naturally. So that means out of 10,000 tigers that are born in the wild, only one of them has the chance of being white. Any white tiger that you see here, you can trace back to the second to last 90,000 tigers out in the wild. 9 of them would have been white tigers out of that 90,000. And now there's only about 5,600 or so. So not something to see. But he does, guys. So we try and stick them in habitats that have more shade if it's available when they get here, which normally means lots of trees. But you can see how that would get a bit trigger that we have here, even louder than Amari, who we heard before, actually significantly louder than Amari. But she puts her whole body into it. Super cool experience to hear and to see. She's got quite the set of lungs on her. She also likes to start the caroling after she finishes her dinner in the evening, gets everyone else to join in with her. Sorry about the body spots, not stripes. Lion cubs are born with spots. They just fade as they get older when they no longer need them to camouflage. His spots never faded though. He kept his spots like a tiger keeps their stripes. So it's kind of where their one part tiger comes in, even though it doesn't really look like it. On top of all of that, you feel them with your hands. See how thick that plastic is? They're really cool to see up close. We also like to cut out little circles from their used toys, turn them into magnets and keychains that we sell in the gift shop. They're not always in stock, but they are right now. So I'll let you guys know about that, because it is my favorite keychain that I have. Even if you're not buying it, it's something to do. We are going to go at the gift shop right here, though. It's going to get pretty busy, so I do apologize for that. Pretty cool, and then right back there. She's the one that would grumble at you before she said hello. She's actually named after our president, because she was similarly sassy when she was younger, apparently. And then Dakota and the Royal habitat here. I want to thank you guys for visiting today, big and on top, but we can't do what we do without your support. Any money spent here goes back into caring for these animals, so we really appreciate it. You're welcome to walk around that discovery area as often as you'd like. Feel free to ask myself or anyone else with a paw print on their back any questions you have. We'd be more than happy to try and answer them for you guys. I'll let you guys get your own chains as we come to a full stop, but I'll get that gate for you, and you guys have a great rest of your day.
He's opening his eyes.
That's good. Nice and close.
Look, he's opening his eyes.
So, yeah, I know you're there.
There's Mom, and there's the two cubs right there. Where are they?
There's two right here and there's one right here.
Mm-hmm. White tiger. It's moving, look.
Yeah, well, there's one back there too.
Where? Oh. They're not together. Oh, look at that. Like it's chow time.
I don't know what it is, but he's walking toward the people.
Oh, they're gonna feed him.
It says time for shade.
How do they feed them? They just like throw them over the fence or something?
No, they
They're
put
little
it.
trays.
Oh.
It's like nothing knows how to do it.
Yeah.
It's like a it's train.
Yeah. Can you see that? She said.
Yep, and she went like this, and he went up.
Well, it keeps them engaged.
Want to feel better? That I really made a snake.
I don't even think he chewed. I think it's just like it's gone.
Yep.
Like they can't breathe.
Yep.
I'll let him sniff stuff too.
You watch. You're arrested.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 10
You see what they were just the big man
We're gonna make the tiger do a TikTok here.
And they piss like 30 to 40 times per hour.
Yeah, it says like 10 or 20 or 30 times an hour. They do that. Must have some weak ass pee that they gotta do it.
Ooh, they smell though.
And they did.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, if you're in Reno, you should go out to Animal. So it's like you go out North Valley, like you're going
To 395 north.
the Red Rock exit.